Today, I think that is 27 February 2024. We will have few lines here, kind of as our conversation, the issues we are doing considering the year 14th 2004, complaining threats that at that time got noticed, organized from Brazil, but with a level of interaction really large, transcontinental, FIFA, Olympics, COVID, and we proved at that time that if you suffer an aggression by an architecture like that, and you try to complain, did you beef up the intelligence against you, your rights, your people, and everything 10 years later showed that that very first complaint was an absolutely inaccurate thing. We will have here the report made last week, which the failure on East and West is the same failure on nation A or B or at the department or in corporate office if he got noticed as corruption, which is the act that takes the integrity of something, or the silence that make the logical gap of something, including the application of the law that won't gonna be the most proper application of the law. And this kind of thing is for sure allowed to take advantage. In the same way, the investment decision and all others elements we exposed as cognitive bias or misconcepts kept by fake records and operated through this. And if it's a misconduct since from the very first premise, it's a fallacious argument that you try to boost a crisis to solve the problem, kind of digging the complaints and have the continuity of criminal scams. It's proved this way. And the dismantle order we expected as a judicial order or an order from the International Criminal Court regressing the payroll against institutions involved in solitary misuse of power, including gains, arbitrariness, privilege, and storage, but didn't happen yet. So we had the defense optimized considering this kind of situation, and a sequential thing going by the self-determination of each economic agent acting for criminal purpose, but the qualification as economic agent down, they are criminal offenders. In the same way, the use of power, no guarantees by things they did, and the self-determination ruling their lives will have the consequence sooner or later. And Brazil has no excuse to violate a guarantee like the privacy, the data, the intimacy, the freedom of thoughts and others violated by no excused acts, which got made by criminal use of power at the institutional array of power, which implies, and for sure got confirmed and proved, the criminals inside. Globally talking, if I, for instance, give a temporary authorization or allowing one specific segment to do the real-time forecast of my life, considering on very critical object, and you drip information, try, to make the entry to put me down in a situation as conflict of interest, treasonous acts, or even a murder, eu misuse the power. One more time, right? It's a theory in USA named the hard cases. When you have constitutional dilemmas of very heavy rights, like the domestic tranquility, you based on silence about the crime, indeed, it's criminal association. And the hard case will be in a very first moment that you won't gonna respect the preamble of your own constitution. But it's a fallacious thing, because the domestic tranquility implies the criminal out of the array of power. And if you had the power misuse as an American, judicial power or someone combined with by the amended 14th, you are under the jurisdiction, for instance, of United States that can put out of all judges at power misuses by the not good behavior. And the United States of America will do the application of the law, and of course will offer the law to be applied by the victim. For instance, in my case, if you violate my right, during the period which as a temporary authorization to do the forecast of the effort I'm doing, in USA you had the power misuse if you had the collected data to put the situation outrageous, and it's not good behavior in USA. As a judge, you must ask your own resignation, suggested, or be destituted outpost. This is the situation on present time. I'm your friend, I would say. I'm not your enemy, as you could observe down here, because I suffered aggression and reply in the limits of the law, considering the neutral area as jurisdiction by police, suggesting the most benefit guarantee if deserved or, affordable. But the situation on present time is that the misuse of power in all areas is illegal, and so the criminal at institution doing this misuse of power, universal crime just like corruption, premise of so many criminal practice organized as an architecture of violence through institutions in solidarity by purpose, and not here proved as power misuse, including the logical gaps on budget or the illicit use of control instrument as cretinismus brasilis, putting the legitimacy of power down and set the perception in the way we proved of many of you, or maybe you all, as monkey with forks. It means that the power will have no utility, I would say, in situations like this, right? The situation in present time is quite clear. The power misuse in Brazil, even locally or internationally, made as power misuse, is illegal in Brazil and illegal in the area as international player misusing the power locally in Brazil. In USA, at the Security Forum, you must be outposted, and we expect that the judges and authorities involved ask their own resignation by the amended 14. If I'm under the jurisdiction of USA is under the law of United States and the Constitution, kind of. The king make the rules, but the rules is applied against the king in the same way. Have a great weekend. Risk report February is closed.